Oh man, I was just listening to this music video. Remember the Name by Fort Minor. Um, and I've heard this my whole life. I've heard this same thing my whole life. Um, it's just the way that we're living nowadays. You know. Um, I mean, the same thing would be branding, right? Branding is it's all about the name, right? It's all about um, when someone's trying to bring you down, they start accusing you and accusing you and accusing you. They're trying to destroy your name, right? Um, so, yeah, no, remember the name, right? But, there's another way to think about it. Um, like, think about this. Um, like, let's say you go out there and you just do something awesome, and everybody's like, oh, wow, this guy's awesome. And you're now this historical figure, this great historical figure. Well, fast forward 200 years from now, fast forward 1,000 years from now, you're going to have a bunch of kids in a class, or students being forced to learn about you, and they don't care. They don't care about you. They care about who's having sex with who and in their own lives, It's like you've vanished, you know? And also, there's that saying, I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies, right? I mean, who do you want recognizing it, you know? Like if you're rich and attractive, or attractive, you're going to be attracting a lot of, people who are going to hurt you. So why would you want to, get yourself out there? What I'm talking about right now is stories. Stories, that's what I'm talking about right now. Because the way that we think is based upon a mental algorithm, right? We have this mental algorithm within our head, and that's the way in which we're living, right? But you can switch that mental algorithm around, and you could live in a different way, right? And you could probably come up with, tons of different algorithms, and if you make them sound cool, then, there's probably going to be tons of people who are like, I want to be like that, yeah, that's going to be my way, so as a story writer, that's fun, creating all new worlds. And this is how you do it. You have to figure out what those mental algorithms are. Because I mean, is it a bad thing to want to be recognized? I guess it depends, right? Would you want to be recognized by everybody? Well, that might be a little like narcissistic or vainglory. But I think it's healthy to want to be recognized by, a small group of people. Family and community and shit like that. And then you have this other way, right? And this other way you could say is more mystical. You could be talking about like ninjas here, right? Talking about ninjas. There's this one character. He's called Columbo. He's a Detective Columbo. And he kind of lives this way. He wants others to think he's a fool. You know. Um, but you could have bad characters. Because again, like if you totally take this way on, you'd have to be like very psychologically strong to not have it fuck you up. um, so here we've like flipped everything around, right? Because when I first started talking about brands, and you're probably like, oh yeah, fuck that, fuck the brands, fuck the corporations and all that stuff. But I just flipped that around. But no, I didn't, because it's like in both you can have, I think, good possibilities and bad possibilities. I mean, you can have some evil ninjas out there, or some good ones. Those who believe that their worthiness doesn't have anything to do with anybody else. So I mean, there's healthiness to an urge to want to be recognized, right? Um, anyways, I think that's it. It's about stories, and it's about creating just whole new worlds, and it's not about arguing for any sort of utopia or anything like that. It's just about having fun with different realities.